in the chat room,
And
too.
we're live. Hey, everybody. Hi, Rich.
Hi. Hello. What's
It's a
up? How you doing?
This is a quarantined edition of Meat Men on a St.
How you
Patrick's
doing?
Day.
Oh, that's right. It is St. Patrick's Day. Are you doing?
Oh,
Are you
hell
doing the
yeah,
big
it
intro?
is.
Oh, give me a hell yeah.
We have a lot to
I
talk
haven't
about
had
today.
I haven't had a drink in close to 3 weeks.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I'm also I also kind of switched to a vegetarian diet yesterday. So, who am I?
Baby Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Large in our chat room goes, Baby Rich.
Sup, dudes. We crank this up a little bit.
Matt Men is live. Come on, my dudes and dudettes. Juggalos and juggalettes.
My juggalos and juggalettes.
I hate that guy. I hate that guy so much. He's
You
such
can
a mutant.
book him for WrestleMania weekend, man.
He's a mutant.
Book him on the show.
People are booking him for wrestling.
People are booking him and the Walmart guys.
Oh, God. Well, they're not getting any bookings anymore.
Because of the coronavirus.
I think this is... Whatever alien is playing our Sims is fucking us up.
Should I unleash my conspiracy theory that I told you before?
Which one? I don't remember.
Like the one how they're prepping New York for something different.
For like a doomsday? Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. My theory is that they're prepping New York for a future chemical weapons attack, which is why they're making everybody shut every single thing down just to see how people react to it.
Do you want to just do a conspiracy theory show today?
That'd be cool. We can work in wrestling.
We can work in some wrestling with our conspiracy theories. All right, guys, we're gonna get ready soon. Just doing some tests here. I haven't done it this way. Rich and I generally don't do remote shows. It's rare, considering we live about 5 minutes away from each other.
Yeah, that cough freaked me out, though.
The cough, the quarantine. There's a lot of this.
He was like, "Come over, Rich. Let's do the show."
All right. We can get started. You want to get started?
I'm ready, dude.
All right. Anybody going to use chat roulette in the next week to socialize with people practicing social distancing? We should do that. We should do chat roulette again.
Yo, cam girls are gonna make so
Bank.
much fucking money.
Yeah. Rich and I are about to create an OnlyFans page, so. What the hell? My stream is freezing. YouTube is not receiving enough. Why?
It heard about my conspiracy theory, and now it's YouTube upset.
Yeah.
Mr. Gonzo.
Where's Mr. Gonzo?
He's in the chat room. How's everybody doing out there, by the way? I know everybody's freaking out. Did you get a lot of texts from your friends saying, like, who are out of the state?
I got a lot of texts from people about my health more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You want to get started?
That's right. Yeah. That's right. You got tested for the
COVID.
Yeah. For the COVID.
All right. We'll begin in 3, 2, and 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm AJ Zarian, and I'm doing an empty studio show today to kind of keep it in line with everything that's happening in the world. With me via satellite, Rich, the big virus Stambolian.
Ooh, my guy. What's up?
Rich is at his house, which is like 5 minutes away from me, and I'm here in my studio. This is a crazy world we're living in right now. I guess I'll talk about it now, right? I was quarantined because I tested negative for the flu and I had all the symptoms of this bizarro disease. And I took the test and I was quarantined for a week, and now I tested negative, obviously. That's why I'm here with you guys. I probably would have still done the show if I didn't test negative, but we got.
I thought I think learning from Friday night's SmackDown, where they were like, all right, some of this stuff isn't working. Let's start the show with Edge, and then you know what? F it, just play the Royal Rumble, and then we'll do something else.
You know what happened? I didn't know that's what they were doing. I was like, what? I wonder what they're doing right now, because I turned away and there was a Royal Rumble, and I'm like, oh, okay. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do like a little highlight summary of this,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of tell people what happened. Just a recap. They ended up playing the whole entire Royal Rumble. I watched most of it, and you know what? My takeaway was, holy crap! I forgot how great the Royal Rumble was.
It was pretty excellent, I gotta say. Like, I was my wife, who like your wife, it doesn't care for wrestling, but she likes stuff that's a little wacky sometimes. So Friday and last night, she over stuff. But it was a fun
You
one,
speak
man.
for yourself.
No, you were three sheets to the wind. Also, you kept taking
Oh yeah,
your peach out.
I did. I did think I peach out multiple times.
What did you think? What do you think of the empty arena?
It's bizarre. It's really weird. And you know what's interesting? So like the Edge promo worked so well in that empty building.
Yeah.
It was just, my God, he looked at the camera and he
Mhm.
cut a promo, and it was emotional, and it wasn't yelling. He was speaking with like a lower voice. He did it the right way, right? And you could tell the generational shift in how they
Mhm.
were trained. And then you have Becky Lynch that came out there, and she's looking at the crowd, and she's holding the
Mhm.
belt to the crowd. Where, I mean, that really kind of shows you the difference in training, right? Everything that they do now is for the crowd, is for the audience. And
I'll,
it was evident with the way that the older generation kind of works and the younger generation works.
I agree with that 100%. And two good examples of that are let me touch on the Edge thing. Number one, this dude's been an actor for the last 10 years, so he was really showing his craft right there. You know, from being on Haven to being on Vikings and all that stuff. The second part comes in big time because if you watch that Sasha Bailey match from Friday night, it looked like a scripted tryout match of, okay, at this point in the match you look at the crowd, at this
Yeah.
point in the match, and since there's no crowd, it's just a little weird. The Cesaro Dana Bryan match from Friday was awesome. These dudes would beat the shit out of each other in an empty garage down the street if they could, right?
Yeah.
uh, Austin hitting the four corners looked natural even though there was nobody in
Yep.
that place. He was popping himself, you know. How'd you feel about the Byron thing with Austin?
I'm going to tell you, I hated that entire segment. The whole thing
Why?
sucked. It was just awkward. I got what they tried to do, and it has nothing to do with Austin. I get what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
It came off. There's no reaction. There's
Right.
nothing. So that whole thing was feeding off of a reaction. Austin reading those lines would have been great moments for what.
Mm-hmm.
The pause, the pop. I mean, it was kind of hindered with that, but I mean, he did the best that he could.
Yeah, but he's also like, I feel like he's one of those guys that he just does. He'll do it regardless. He's a company guy. He's not gonna feel weird. Oh, the other thing I want to ask you about, uh, how weird. Again, this is it's so bonkers, but I've been loving this. I'm not gonna take a poop on it. How bizarre was it to see the Undertaker in that situation at the Performance Center?
Okay, first of all, let's talk about the Undertaker coming out. He was Biker Taker, right? He was kind of
He
like
was do
Biker
rag.
Taker.
He was do rag
He was
taker.
wearing a do rag on his head. He came out. I've never seen that man walk down the aisle that fast in my life.
Oh my
He
god,
just
so embarrassed.
sprinted down the aisle. He
Hmm.
goes in. He's half dressed. He has his sling out, like it's below him. He's wearing the
Hmm.
hat, and he has his
He's
hair
got
in a
his
braid. He
Spanx.
comes out. He doesn't say a word. He looks at King, and he flips the table. They go to a commercial break,
Hmm. And
and
then
they
they
come
show
back.
when they came back, they showed up an entire promo of the AJ Styles stuff, and
Yeah,
he was in the ring the whole time, right?
he was in the ring the entire time, just looking at nothing. And then
Uh,
AJ cuts a promo, and for some reason they've humanized Undertaker.
yes,
Like, he's not the Undertaker now. He's just a guy that's married, that's old,
in a do rag.
in a do-rag. and this is so bizarre that they pulled that curtain back a little bit, and this has to be a Paul Heyman thing, to kind of break pull back the curtain more and humanize Undertaker and be like, yeah, he's the dead man, but it's a character, and this guy's married to Michelle McCool,
Who's like a gold digger.
who's a gold digger. This is just really, I don't know. I don't dislike it. It's just really weird to see the Undertaker in that position in 2020. No.
I think this is the debut of his new character, which is a undead guy wearing a do-rag, and he's gonna call himself Duragula.
Duragula.
Yeah.
Oh my god! You know what? I would love him to do the Ministry of Darkness Undertaker, but just go by say it again.
Duragula.
Duragula. There you go. Duragula.
That's a copyright pending on Duragula, guys.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I know that people are watching. I know that people that are watching live, they're having a lot of issues with the feed. So I think we're just going to continue here. I think I'm having.
I hope people can hear my idea. Also, it's a good idea. I think they should have Xavier Woods' show Up Down Down recreate WrestleMania, and that should be the feed where instead of AJ and Undertaker going at it in the Performance Center, it should be AJ and Undertaker playing each other in like the last 2K video game.
Yeah, maybe why don't they do that?
Like an esports kind of thing. Or a really close friend of mine yesterday suggested that they have carte blanche now with a lot of this stuff. And wouldn't you want to see a pre-taped like match of AJ versus Undertaker in a friggin' graveyard?
I mean, why not do that? Why not do that?
Right. That would be pretty cool. They have the money, right?
They could do it. I'm willing if they are gonna have any kind of audience, because the story coming out is that this isn't gonna be WrestleMania is not gonna be presented in the same way that this show was. Raw and SmackDown have been.
Right.
So the only thing I could think of is they're gonna these freaking people are gonna attempt to green screen an audience and make them look like they're in a building, like in an arena somehow.
I think that would be hysterical.
You know what they should do? They should just green screen the audience from No Mercy.
The video game?
Those polygon figures, yeah. The polygons at 1 frame a second.
With like the big thick hands.
Yeah.
I think they should just show the Royal Rumble again.
What if they just showed last year's WrestleMania? How many people would watch it and not know?
All right. So what happens now? Like, does WrestleMania do people get their tickets refunded? Like, what's the deal? Is this a loss for the company?
Oh yeah, it has to be. I mean, it's a $60 million revenue event, and generally the cities that WrestleMania is hosted in make about 200 to $300 million in revenue. So this is a loss all across the board, top to bottom.
Is it at all possible that the Saudis will turn around and say, listen, private jets have WrestleMania here?
I don't know. I was thinking that. Is it possible to do it in Saudi Arabia? Do you want to risk your staff from getting sick in another country? I know that UFC right now is kind of in the same boat, and they canceled multiple shows. The next 3 shows are canceled. And they are potentially looking at another country to put one of their big events that they're going to have that was supposed to be at Barclays. So they're scouting different. I mean, where are you going to put it? Where has this disease, this virus not affected? I mean, that's
Canada?
something you got to. No, Canada's going to be impacted the same exact way as I mean, all of North America, South America is going to be impacted. So what are your options left? You know,
Hawaii.
you really, I guess you could go to a secluded place, but
Samoa.
I don't. I think doing WrestleMania in the Performance Center is a big mistake. I think they should have delayed it. They don't want to do that, and it's very obvious that this is now becoming a financial call as to not canceling it. They want to be they're looking for some sort of insurance compensation for the loss, which a lot of people are also going to be looking into for events and things like that. Somebody was saying that they're most likely because a person put I saw this guy write about this. He goes, I host large events in a lot of states, and the way that it works is that if there is a natural disaster, and some contracts say that you need to show that you are relocating your show in
Hmm.
order to get the compensation. It can't just be a total
Interesting.
like, well, I give up, I'm not doing it. So this is not great. Uh, listen, this is not great for anybody right now. I'm in New York City, and we are I mean, this is a once in a lifetime thing. We lived through 9/11. We lived through Sandy, uh, and I don't think any of us have ever experienced anything to this capacity, to this level, when it comes to uh, just social changes. You know,
Let me tell you
I
something.
work. Yeah, go ahead.
So again, this is one of my other side theories, but this has more to do with just like the human routine. So every year, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, every year we have that one major snowstorm that shuts everything down for like a week, right?
Yeah,
This is this year's snowstorm.
yeah.
It's the same thing. People are
But
going
it's not a
crazy.
week. It's not a week.
Right. They're
It's long. It's like a month.
unnecessarily cleaning out the shelves, unnecessarily scooping up all sorts of nonsense, panicking, stocking up at home. Listen, we still have running water. Like supermarkets are stocking for food. I think people are going a little too nuts with it. And like,
Yeah.
like how many people do you know that are how many people do you know that are panicking right now?
This is gonna kind of veer off, and we're gonna get back to wrestling, but I think this is kind of
Mm,
important to talk about, right? Like, I'm not a doomsday guy. Okay, I'm
right.
not one of these guys. So I'm for me, this is bizarre. This whole concept is bizarre because
Hmm.
and I'm not looking for debate, obviously, and so I'm not even going to engage with any kind of discussion or argument online over this.
Right,
But
right,
this is how I see this. We are faced with these issues regularly. So the flu, for example, kills about 60,000 people, right?
right. A year,
A year. Pneumonia kills about 30,000
a
people.
day. Yeah.
Swine flu was devastating across the
Hmm.
world. So there were the reaction to these illnesses have not been what this is. So my theory
Yeah.
is, and this is how I'm seeing it, either we are in a total lack of competence from
Hmm.
authority, from the higher powers, I guess, in government. We
Hmm.
are or they are very aware of the threat that this virus causes, and we are not, um, and we're not really, I'm sorry, and they're not really releasing any of this information. They know
Interesting.
something that we don't, or C, this is just to see what happens. They're using this as an excuse for a larger threat.
When are we going to do our conspiracy theory show?
Now, right now.
Now, all right, guys.
So listen,
It's time for
it's only going to
Andrew's.
get better. This is
Yeah,
this is expected, and I'm going based on what I've read and what I've seen.
yeah.
This is only going to get better. They've done a quarantine of sorts here in New York, where businesses, local businesses, restaurants, bars, places that people could gather, you cannot go. They're shut down. Millions of people are going to be unemployed. I don't know how the city's going to recover. I don't know how the country's going to recover, or globally recover from any of this.
You can still get a
So
pizza delivered to your house.
you could still get a pizza delivered to your house. So we'll go.
Hmm.
I mean, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to touch on this. But was there anything on Raw that you liked?
I did love the Edge promo. And listen, I'm a fan of like Gonzo stuff, and I'm a fan of Mr. Gonzo. So the Austin thing I really enjoyed with him and Byron, and you know what, like just to see him stun Byron Saxon, great. I'm very happy with that. You know what I didn't like on Raw?
What?
And this is a dopey gripe. I thought the Becky um, the Becky big
Monster
rig
Boys? Oh
was
my god!
a waste of money.
Why did they do that? Why did they do a Becky Big Rig?
I feel like they were probably planning it for like a month, and then this stuff happened, and it was like just a weak sauce. You know?
Yeah.
What about you?
I I thought the show was bizarre, and I don't know how they're going to sustain doing it this way moving forward. I really don't. think this is a sustainable way to produce content. I'm very surprised at it. I'm really